He had the cars, the condos, and the cold hard cash, but he didn't have one woman who stayed. This is the scandalous story of the man who had everything, except love that lasted. Hey family, welcome back to the channel. This is where real Jamaican stories meet deep truth and drama with purpose. If you're new, hit that subscribe, and if you've been here, big up yourself. Let's jump into today's story. Kingston loved him. The streets whispered his name like a legend. Jermaine J. Bennett. The big money man. You couldn't step into a room without feeling his presence. Custom suits, Cuban cigars, luxury cologne that left a trail of power behind him. Jay steps out of a black matte Benz G-Wagon. The gold chain glimmers in the sun. A young man opens the door for him and says, "Bless up, boss." Jay nods coolly. He wasn't born into money, he built it. It started by selling imported phones out of the back of a warehouse in downtown Kingston. Now? He owned half of New Kingston's nightlife and was in talks to launch his vodka brand in Miami. But for all the wealth, his heart was bankrupt. While the world clapped for him, his soul was quietly bleeding. Nighttime. Jay enters his private VIP lounge. Bottles pop. Lights flash. Four women dance in slow motion around him, all laughing. He's smiling, but his eyes are distant. Every weekend, a new girl on his arm. Every week, a new name on his phone. He bought them gifts, flew them out to Mobay, and sent designer bags to their doors. But by Monday? They were gone. Ghosted. Or worse, caught up in drama with his other options. Flashback, Jay arguing on FaceTime with a woman, her voice shouting, "You think money makes you worthy? You can't even be faithful." He hangs up and throws his phone across the room. He told himself it was their fault. Dem ungrateful. Dem can't handle success. But deep down, he knew. Jay is sitting alone at a rooftop bar, city lights twinkling below. A couple nearby laughs and kisses. He watches them, jaw clenched slightly. Jay had a void money couldn't fill. And though the world envied him, he envied the man with nothing but love. Late afternoon. Red Hills, St. Andrew. The sun filters through tall trees as birds chirp. Mama Joyce's yard is peaceful, well-kept flowers, potted plants, a pair of sandals by the front step. Jay pulls up in his sleek G-Wagon, steps out in shades and loafers. He hadn't been to Mama's house in weeks. Not since the last fallout with yet another woman who walked away. Today, he needed answers, or at least, some comfort. Inside a modest but elegant Jamaican kitchen. Old gospel hymns play faintly from a small radio. Mama Joyce, in her head wrap and apron, stirs a pot on the stove. Mama Joyce, without looking at him, "You look tired, Jermaine. Money not helping you sleep no more?" Jay sighs and pulls out a chair. "Me alright, mummy, just a rough week." Mama Joyce turns around, holding a spoon. "Rough? Me here seh Vanessa left ya. Again. That's what, number 4 for the year?" Jay laughs dryly. She couldn't handle the lifestyle. Always arguing. Jealous. Mama Joyce points the spoon at him. "No, saw. Don't play me like me a fool. You always say they're jealous, but you still can't keep one woman, Jay. Ya ever stop and ask if you a D problem?" Jay shifts uncomfortably in the chair. He grabs a bottle of water off the table. His pride is loud, but her words hit somewhere deep. "Jay, mummy, me provide. Me loyal to my success. A man has to do what he has to do." Mama Joyce, firmly, a man has to lead with heart, not ego. "Me raise ya fi be a husband, not a hustler with a bed full of strangers. How long you think gotta go watch you waste your legacy chasing vanity?" A long silence. The sound of the boiling pot fills the room. Jay stares at his mother, visibly shaken but quiet. Jay came for comfort, but got conviction. Mama Joyce wasn't just a praying woman, she was a truth-teller. And today, she planted the seed that would crack his armor. Mama Joyce, softens you have everything but peace, me pick me. And peace, it not come from money. It comes from knowing who you are in God, and how you treat people. She touches his hand gently. Jay lowers his head. Jay, quietly me tired, mummy. Me tired by pretending like me good when my heart feels empty. Mama Joyce, gently then let God fill it, baby. Not another woman. Not another car. Just him. Mama Joyce's voice should be strong, but nurturing, classic Jamaican mother tone. Jay's voice, cool, prideful, but cracks slightly during key lines to show his internal shift. Night. Jay stands in his Miami penthouse, staring out over the city. Neon lights reflect off the glass. A nearly empty whiskey glass in his hand. Silence fills the room except for the low hum of traffic below. Among the many names that came and went, there was only one that lingered like a ghost in every room he entered. Tammy. Jay picks up his phone. Scrolls through his gallery. Stops at a photo, Tammy laughing on the beach, hair wild in the wind, no makeup, just peace. She wasn't the loudest. She wasn't the prettiest by society's standards. But Lord, she was real. And real was rare in Jay's world. Flashback, Jay and Tammy in simpler days. Jay and Tammy on Hell's Higher Beach. Tammy eats fried fish and festival with her hands. They laugh. She wipes pepper sauce off his lip. She prays over him before they eat. Tammy, smiling ya spirit heavy, Jay. Me can see it in your eyes. Me pray one day you'll let go the world before the world broke ya. Jay, laughs it off me alright, babes. Money has to be made. Me good. Tammy, softly, but are ya whole? She challenged his hustle. Not out of bitterness, but out of love. She saw the little boy behind the empire. The boy who wanted to be chosen, for more than what he owned. Back to present, his regret. Jay slumps onto the edge of his couch. He dials her number, pauses, then hangs up. He'd hurt her. Lied to her. Let ego replace loyalty. She found out about the other girl in Cayman, and left without a scene. No cussing. No begging. Just a text that said, I love the real you. But the world you love ain't got space for me. Jay rereads that message. His eyes watered. He rubs his face hard, as if trying to erase the memory. Jay, to himself, low whisper, me mess it up, she loved me. He could barely remember the names of the others. But Tammy? He remembered everything, her scent, her prayers, how she hummed gospel while washing dishes. She wasn't flashy. She was faithful. And he traded her, for women who couldn't even pray for him. Symbol of what was lost. Jay walks to his closet, opens a small drawer. Inside, an anklet. Tammy's. Left behind the day she left. He holds it in his hand like a relic. It was the only thing she left behind. And somehow, it carried more weight than all the gold in his safe. She wasn't the one who broke him. She was the one who exposed how broken he already was. Rain beats against the glass windows of Jay's mansion in the hills of Stony Hill. Thunder rumbles in the distance. The city lights below shimmer through the storm. Jay sits shirtless at his marble kitchen counter, surrounded by half-empty bottles, takeout containers, and unread documents. Money couldn't stop the storm tonight. And this time, it wasn't just outside. It was inside him. Boiling. Breaking. Bleeding. Phone rings. He stares at it, another unknown number. He declines. Then another call. This time, from an old friend, Rashawn. Jay answers groggily. Yo. Rashawn, on speaker. Jay. Mina know if me shoulda tell you dis, but. Bro, those girls are talking. One of them records you. A whole group chat full of screenshots, videos, voice notes. Bro, it's bad. Jay sits up slowly. What you mean record me? Rashawn, me a tell ya, one of dem seh she exposing everything, your biz, your movements, even your deals. Say you use woman like tissue. Jay throws the phone across the room. Glass shatters. He storms through the house, his breathing heavy, thunder rolling louder outside. He built an empire on charm and image. But now the image was cracking. And behind it, a man who didn't know who he was without applause. Flashback, Mama Joyce's words echo. Jay stares in the bathroom mirror, water dripping down his face as he splashes himself to stay sane. Mama Joyce's voice echoes faintly like a memory. Mama Joyce, voice over ye cyan fool God, Jermaine. Every lie has to face the light one day. And what you build without truth, not go stand in storm. Jay grips the counter. Tears fall silently. He clenches his jaw, fighting emotion. He slams his fist into the wall, leaving a dent. He wasn't losing money. He was losing himself. And for the first time, Jay didn't want to be the man anymore. Jay collapses to his knees in the hallway, surrounded by silence. The storm rages outside, but inside, it's dead quiet. He whispers to God. Barely audible. Jay, broken God, if you still dead, please. Me can't do this anymore. It was the first honest prayer he'd prayed in years. Not for success. Not for revenge. Just for peace. The camera pans out slowly. Jay was on the floor, the storm finally slowing outside. The clouds begin to part just slightly. A small sliver of moonlight peeks through the blinds. Sometimes God doesn't break you to destroy you. He breaks you to rebuild you. Early morning in Kingston. The storm has passed. Soft golden sunlight creeps over the hills. Birds chirp gently. Jay's home is quiet. Inside, he sits on his balcony in a plain white t-shirt, hair unkempt, eyes swollen but clear. He didn't die in the storm. He woke up. And this time, he felt something different, not pride. Not ego. Just need. Jay pulls out a dusty Bible from the bottom of a bookshelf. It's old, worn pages, a note from Mama Joyce on the front cover, to Jermaine. God loves you more than you could ever hustle for. Jay, read softly Psalm 51. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. His voice cracks. He leans back. A long silence. Tears again, but this time, they're not hopeless. He thought redemption would feel loud, like fireworks or a fresh deal. But it felt like stillness. Like breath returning to lungs that didn't even know they were choking. Jay walks into Mama Joyce's church in Spanish Town. It's a Wednesday prayer meeting. Simple benches. No cameras. Just people, clapping, praying, crying. Jay slips into the back, unnoticed. He didn't need a spotlight anymore. He just needed the truth. And the truth was in that little church. With the tambourine, the off-key choir, and the old pastor who preached like he knew Jay's entire story. Pastor, preaching, some of you in here have been running from love so long, you think pain is your portion. But God says, come home. He not deal in shame, him deal in restoration. Jay stands up slowly. He walks to the altar. A few heads turn in shock. But Mama Joyce is already smiling through tears in the second pew. It wasn't for show. It wasn't for a woman. It wasn't for clout. This time, Jay surrendered for real. Weeks later, Jay volunteers at a youth center in Kingston. He's seen mentoring young men, sharing his story, teaching them about purpose, not just money. New suit, but this time, no jewelry, no flash. Just substance. Jay, speaking to the youth group, you sign lead a woman, or a business, or even yourself, if you don't know God. Me used to run Kingston, but me couldn't even run my own heart. The teens nod, listen. Some smile. A full circle moment. He lost the world, and found his soul. And for the first time in years, Jay was finally rich. Jay walks along the shoreline in Hell's Higher Beach. Alone, but not lonely. He pulls a small anklet from his pocket, Tammy's. Smiles. He places it in the sand, whispers something only God hears, and walks away slowly. Forgiveness may not come from everyone he lost. But grace? Grace found him. And that was enough. Streets to Sanctuary. Jay exits the church after a Sunday service. Clean cut, calm. A small group of young men greet him, but just across the street, a black BMW pulls up slowly. Windows down. Inside, Zippo, one of Jay's former business partners. "Me hear you gone holy now, boss. From bottle to Bible, eh?" Jay, calm, steady. "Zippo, me good now. Nah play de life again. Me finally free." Zippo laughs darkly. "You think freedom is walking away from the table? Nah, brethren. Ya oh. Every deliverance has a test. And every past demands proof you've changed." Jay walks away without responding. But the look in his eyes? He knows it's not over. Temptation calls again late night. Jay's phone lights up. Unknown number. He answers out of habit. "Jay? It's Simone, remember Cayman?" Jay, silent for a moment. "Me remember. But me not the same man, Simone." Simone laughs. "People don't change, baby. They just lie better. The enemy doesn't always come with horns. Sometimes, it comes with the perfect voice from the past. Calling when you're lonely." Jay stares at the ceiling after hanging up. He grabs his Bible instead. Doubted by the community. Jay speaks at a community men's conference in Portmore. The crowd is split, some inspired, some skeptical. "Me nah trust him. Jay used to mash up women like cheap shoes. Now he wants to talk to Jesus?" They praised the image of him. But now they question his integrity. Still, he didn't stop. "Jay, yes, me used to be D-man with Gil in every parish. Yes, my mash up lives. But God nah need perfect people, he just needs honest ones. And me here today, fully honest." A long silence. Then, one clap. Then another. Slowly, the room begins to respond. A young man at the back is in tears. Months later. Jay walks into a local bookstore in New Kingston to support a women's empowerment event. A quiet woman greets him, natural hair, confident spirit. Her name is Ayana. She's a youth counselor. She recognizes him but doesn't fan over him. Ayana, smiling, "Warm Jermaine, right? You spoke at my school last week. Powerful words. I hope your actions are just as consistent." Jay, grinning slightly, "They're not perfect, but they're real now." He wasn't looking for love this time. But maybe love was finally looking for him. Jay now runs a mentorship program in Spanish Town, helping young men avoid the life he once lived. He speaks with raw honesty. No filters. No chains. Jay, to the boys, you can't buy peace. You can't hustle healing. But if you turn your life over to God, me a living proof, he'll fix what you mash up. From lover boy to broken man to rebuild the Son of God. This was the rise of Jermaine, the big money man, turned kingdom builder. If this story touched you, don't scroll away. There's someone out there who needs this message right now. So hit that share button, drop a comment below saying God's not finished with me, and make sure you're subscribed, because part 3 is about to shake your soul. Drop a comment, God's not finished with me. Like, speech balloon, comment, share, subscribe for part 3. More real-life Jamaican stories of faith, failure, and redemption, only here.